Started very shortly, so please take your seats. No. Hold on.
Asientos, por favor. Take your seats, please. We're about to get underway. Que diga precioso, no? Wow, what a day to have our news conference. Let's hope that Mother Nature is just as kind to us on Sunday, June 10th, ¿verdad? All right, amen. Así es. Buenos dias, good morning, welcome. My name is Joe Torres. We have a full program of announcements to cover, so let's get your seats. Cameras are all rolling. I think we're good to begin. Thank you for joining us here at the Schiff Family Center here at the beautiful Bronx Zoo. Aplauso, por favor, for the good people at the Bronx Zoo. Thank you so much for hosting us here today. The National Puerto Rican Day Parade, I don't need to tell you, it's arguably the largest cultural event in America. Punto. Fact, okay? And just like the zoo, it's an institution right here in New York City. So, as the English TV broadcast partner, we at Channel 7, WABC TV, are thrilled to join the Puerto Rican community in celebrating ¿cuántos años? 61 years of promoting our culture, our history, our achievements, nuestra herencia, qué bueno. Joining us today, the list is long, but we'll go through a few. Graffiti artist and professional muralist, Tats Crew, qué bueno. Educator, historian, and author, Dr. Virginia Sanchez Corol. She's here as well, que bueno. Singer and contestant on The Voice, Johnny Bliss, que bueno. Representado aquí también, the communities of Springfield and Holyoke, Massachusetts. Que bueno. So glad to have you guys here with us, along with several students who are receiving scholarships this year. You'll hear from one of them, and we're going to talk to a few of them later. And if you haven't met them, you should, because buena gente, next generation, future leaders of the parade, perhaps. We'll see. Okay? To begin our program, I'd like to introduce our host. ¿Dónde está Daisy? Daisy Rodriguez. She's the Director of Government and Community Affairs at the Wildlife Conservation Society and the Bronx Zoo. Daisy, ¿no está aquí? Ah, seguimos entonces. Well, I'm sure Daisy's here to tell you that we're all welcome. That's okay. Los animales están allá. Aquí nosotros nos quedamos aquí. Okay. All right, let's move on. We will get started here to get started with the official announcements of the 2018 National Puerto Rican Day Parade. I invite you to the podium my good friend Luis Maldonado, Chairman of the parade's Board of Directors. Qué bueno, señor. Gracias.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. How are you all today? Very good. We've been blessed with a beautiful day, and I thank you all for coming to celebrate with us. As Joe says, the parade is one of New York City's long-standing institutions, and what better way to kick off our 2018 program than here at another iconic institution in New York, the Bronx Zoo. This year we will continue celebrating the best of who we are as a community, the best of our culture, the best of who we are in terms of music, paying tribute to heroes that have contributed to the recovery, the renewal, and the rebuilding of Puerto Rico since Hurricane Maria. And this year's parade is going to have particularly profound meaning, having that backdrop and with the issues, the profound issues that are happening in Puerto Rico. So we're happy to celebrate the best of who we are as a community, while also providing a platform, having the parade serve as a platform to continue discussing the ongoing recovery, building, and renewal efforts on the island. Our themes and honorees will highlight our rich culture and our community's contribution to global society, while also paying tribute to the countless individuals and organizations that acted in extremely heroic ways in response to Hurricane Maria. And we'll give more detail on that later in the program. The situation in Puerto Rico is still very dire, with thousands of families living without electricity, without perhaps housing, without many of the other basic necessities, like clean water. For many, access to education and medical service is far from adequate, creating really a humanitarian crisis that will require a long-term rebuilding and renewal effort. Other families that have fled Puerto Rico are still without affordable housing here in the mainland U.S. And without employment. And so with this year's parade and our broadcast and other messaging, we aim to continue driving awareness and to keep the conversation alive related to the humanitarian crisis that's happening in Puerto Rico, so that it's part of the mainstream dialogue, continues to be part of the mainstream dialogue. We will continue leveraging the parade's appeal and reach as a platform to help inform and engage our community on key issues and challenges facing Puerto Rico, as well as to help provide exposure to the organizations, the many organizations, and the individuals who we call heroes that are working arduously to serve the community. At this time, I'd like to recognize my esteemed board members. I'm very blessed, Chair, to have a very strong and dedicated team. It's a labor of love for them, and I'd like them to stand right now so they can be recognized. Please, board members, stand. This year's parade continues to celebrate the theme Un Pueblo, Muchas Voces, One Nation, Many Voices, to highlight the diverse and depth that is our Puerto Rican community. Over the last 8 months, we witnessed countless first responders, community organizations, and everyday good Samaritans act in remarkable ways to help provide humanitarian aid, and this year we will honor many of the heroes in that ongoing recovery effort. This year we will also honor legendary figures and legends in the making that have excelled in the areas of music, entertainment, sports, TV, film, literature, and other fields to showcase the tremendous contributions our community has made to global society. Last year was a banner year for our scholarship program, and that we achieved a major milestone by delivering a promise that we made back in 2014 by awarding 100 scholarships in the amount of $2,000 each. And tonight at the Education Leadership Awards, we will be awarding another 100 scholarships this year. So we're very proud of that achievement. And then finally, we invite everyone to join us on Fifth Avenue from 44th Street to 79th Street on Sunday, June 10th, starts at 11 o'clock, to celebrate and perpetuate the cultural legacy our community has built over the past 61 years. Entonces nos vemos en la quinta.
Thank you, sir. I want to welcome now to the podium board members, 2 more board members. You just met them, Lorraine Cortez Vasquez and Dora Diaz. They'll share some exciting and highly anticipated announcements and a few more details.
Dora's right here. She joins me later on. Great. Well, it's always great to be here. First of all, I want to give another round of applause for our chairperson, Luis Maldonado. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of Luis, but I'm also very proud that as a board, we lived into our commitment to respond to our bylaws, to do succession planning, to make sure that we continued the growth of this iconic institution. So thank you, Luis, for taking on the helm. I have the honor also, I want to just also thank Joe. Our partnership with ABC has been an incredible partnership. And you know who your friends are when everybody's a fair weather friend, but you know who your friends are when they stick with you through good times and bad times. ABC is a strong, solid friend. And we're forever grateful to them. And our viewership has been the highest that it has ever been, thanks to WABC. And also thanks to Joe, who does a lot of pre-promotion, but also who serves as a great host of our parade. So, and now I'll tell you all a little secret about that. Joe would always say, I think you need to pitch ABC. I think you need to pitch ABC. And we did, and here we are together, como bueno hermano. So thank you, Joe. Thank you all. So this year, as Luis said, we are honoring the communities and individuals who stepped up during one of our, again, when the toughest times hit Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has survived and managed lots of tough times. I don't think anyone has ever experienced what we experienced. Well, it was the first of its kind ever, was the magnitude of Hurricane Maria. And so we are extremely proud and fortunate because as Puerto Ricanos, we always step up. There's Daisy. Daisy, why don't you join us? Come. Before I go on to the heroes and the themes, I want to give an opportunity to Daisy Rodriguez to say a few words. She is with the Wildlife Conservation Society. For those of us who are Bronxites, this is the Bronx Zoo. And we are very proud, and I've known Daisy for many, many years, and she was an aspirante when I was an aspira. So I'm like super, super proud of her greatness.
Good afternoon. So we are extraordinarily honored to have all of you here with us today. We're looking forward to meeting the young people that are going to be honored tonight. I take great pride in hosting the National Puerto Rican Day Parade at this historic institution, and we are looking forward to many, many more celebrations together. So thank you so much for coming. Check out the seals.
It's amazing how great things find each other. So going back to our theme. So our theme is to honor the people who stepped up, who se presente, who came to support Puerto Rico in its greatest time of need. And so we're honoring organizations as well as individuals. So some of the organizations that we are honoring would be no surprise to you because they're the organizations that always say presente for our community. One of those that I'm extremely proud of also is the Hispanic Federation. Hispanic Federation did a job that was tremendous. They created an Unidos Fund with the support of Lin-Manuel Miranda and the Miranda Family Foundation to ensure that not only the immediate needs of Puerto Rico were met, but also have a long-term plan. Because we know it's going to take years and years for us to get Puerto Rico restabilized. The other one that we're also very proud of is Comité Noviembre. Comité Noviembre has always said, presente. It keeps honoring tradition, but this time it rolled up its sleeves and did more than just honor our traditions and our culture, but also put some muscle behind it and provided a lot of support. Catholic Charities, if you saw some of the early pictures, they were on the ground early. There are two groups in Puerto Rico that we're extremely proud of. They're called Chicas Alejandra. And Chicas Alejandras is a group that has done some domestic anti-bullying campaigns and have been phenomenal in that arena in Puerto Rico. But the other thing that they have done was do some support around children in the trauma post-hurricane. So we're really proud of the work that Chicas Alexandra has been doing. The other one obviously is Superhéroes, which again dealt with post-hurricane trauma with young people, particularly with children with varying needs. Trying to remember the politically correct word. Differently abled children. And it's a new, more respectful and appropriate term to use for children whose abilities are very different than others. And so we're really proud of the work that they've done. We're also proud of Proyecto Enlace. And if you remember Proyecto Enlace, that was an organization that we supported and we highlighted a few years ago because they represent Caño Martín. And the Caño is one of that one area that is 5 miles away from the $1 Million Mile in Puerto Rico, and it is a organization that has some of the greatest environmental injustices in the Western Hemisphere. And they literally, Caño and the Proyecto Enlace, literally went out and supported people to keep them from total devastation. So we're really proud of the work of Proyecto Enlace. And then, of course, for me, is the first responders of New York City. When Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, we were very fortunate that New York responded to Hurricane Irma, and so we had a ground troop of recovery and rescue team and urban search and rescue team in Puerto Rico already, and so then they stayed. And as the storm was going on, they were letting us know that this was something that they never saw. Immediately after that, New York City mobilized. We have had 206 people, I believe, or 236 first responders from NYPD, Fire Department, Office of Emergency Management, and Urban Search and Rescue there for the last 9 months. And as we say, we will continue. Those young men and women, and there were lots of women, did an incredible job. Not only did they do urban search and rescue and recovery, but they also helped establish the first command center, helped organize the warehouse in Puerto Rico, so they helped build infrastructure so Puerto Rico could manage that. So I'm really proud of those individuals. And then we have an individual that people know and love a lot, and that was a journalist who took it upon himself to represent the Puerto Rican people and to introduce the Puerto Rican people to the United States and the world in a way that had not been done before. And that is David Begnaud. And we're really proud that he is joining us, and he is going to be honored also. And this year, as we always do, we have a sister city in Puerto Rico, and we're really proud that we are doing Morovis. Este año es el pueblo de Morovis. Morovis is a rural municipality 27 miles southwest of San Juan. Morovis was hit particularly hard. If you remember how the hurricane came in, it almost came in like a diagonal, and it took all part of the island as a diagonal across the island. Morovis was right in the middle of that, and it was particularly hit hard. And it even had a bridge that was destroyed, and it became inaccessible. And yet, despite that, the people were resilient, kept going, were very, very ingenious and resilient. And despite this, because they had applied to be the city last year, and despite this devastation, they said, no, we want to be the city honored in 2018. We were obviously, there was not a dry eye in the room when we heard that news, and there's not a dry eye here right now. But it's also their bicentennial, right? So we're really, really proud that Morovis is the town that we're celebrating this year. So we understand that they're going to bring some treasures and be a wonder down Fifth Avenue. Stateside, we also select a sister city. And we're honored that this year we have Springfield and Holyoke, our little neighbors up there in Massachusetts. And Springfield, and people think about the Boogie Down Bronx as the home of the Puerto Ricans. Well, Springfield and Holyoke have a very, very strong Puerto Rican population, and we're really proud of them. And they like last year, Cleveland, Ohio, they have deep roots and great, great respect and honor for the culture. So we're really excited. And they've had a Puerto Rican population since in the 1940s, very much like Nueva York. So I'm going to use this opportunity to introduce Hector. and who is Hector Zavala, who is the chairman of the Springfield Puerto Rican Day Parade, who's with us, will say a few words about why you're joining us this year. Thank you. Come on, Hector.
Thank you very much for having us here today. It's truly an honor and a pleasure for us to be here today and to be honored as a stateside community this year by the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. We thank you for that. I want to say joining me today here, we have our Vice Chair, Lucila Santana, who many of you have been working with for some time. We have also a committee member, but our City Councilman in Springfield for Ward 1, Adam Gomez. And interesting fact about Adam Gomez, Adam's father is one of the founders of the Springfield Puerto Rican Parade, who has been working with the National Puerto Rican Day Parade for some time. We were just speaking with Maria, and she was reminiscing about going to Adam's house when he was a child every time they went to Springfield in celebration of our parade and our festivities. But more importantly, we have two of our scholarship recipients here today. We have Mariah and Linesha. Guys, stand up, wave. These are two amazing young ladies who have been selected to be some of the recipients of the scholarship. For us, I mean, I'm here again as the chairman of the Springfield Puerto Rican Parade, but we are here in representation of our community in Springfield, our community in Holyoke, and it truly is an honor to be honored this year. It's humbling. We have a vibrant, growing community that's been growing for some time. As it was stated, we've been growing since the 40s, 50s. My family specifically has been in Springfield since the 70s. And, you know, our parade has been ongoing for now about 28 years. And, you know, we have a strong, strong community of Boricua leaders, Boricuas that have really led and paved the way for us young leaders that are up and coming. But, you know, from farm workers, veterans, just, you know, really people who have really helped to build the community that we have. We have a strong community. It continues to grow. We have a large number of evacuees that have come to our county, to our cities since Hurricane Maria. But we're truly honored to be here. We can't wait for June 10th to walk down La Quinta and really celebrate. We have a nice, strong contingent, and we are looking forward to June 10th. So thank you for having us.
Well, I understand that there's 70,000 Puerto Rico in Springfield and Holyoke, so we expect to see 65,000. Oh, in Springfield alone? Ah, mira para allá. So we expect to see at least 65,000 in them here. Okay. We're going to have a duel, right? Anyway, back to the notes. In the press conference last month in San Juan, as you know, that we lead off the parade by hosting the first press conference in San Juan, we made the announcement of the 2018 honorees. And these include the Lifetime Achievement honoree is the Latin Grammy Award winner, Lucecita Benitez. So we're really excited. La madrina y madrino de nuestro desfile es Laura and Jorge Posada. Their work has been tireless in terms of helping with the recovery of Puerto Rico. Orgullo Puertorriqueño is for Victoria Sanabria. Victoria is una trovadora, or for those of you who are challenged language, have language deficiencies, that is a folkloric singer of Puerto Rican music. We have our ambassador, which is Nais, who's a singer, a songwriter, and composer of the hit song Isla Bendita. We have a rising star, which is Sebastián Rosado, the motivational speaker and a college student. He comes from the group Superhéroes, and we're really proud of his work. Rising star Christopher Rivera, who is a singer and 2000 winner of Telemundo's La Voz Kids, and we're really proud. And yeah, And now I'm honored to present to you the Lifetime Achievement Award honoree for this year's parade, which is none other than an educator, a novelist, a historian who specializes in Puerto Rican studies, someone who has enriched and informed and educated many of us for many years. Please welcome with a huge applause, Virginia Sanchez Carol. Got her.
Well, what can I tell you? I've been working in the field of recovering our history for the past 45 years. I've written 15 books. The first one was From Colonia to Community, The History of Puerto Ricans in New York City. The current one that's about to be born any day now, hopefully mid-July, I've been told, from my publisher Arte Público, is called The Season of Rebels and Roses, and it's about the independence movement, Puerto Rico seeking its independence from Spain in New York City in the 1800s. So having said that, I would be remiss if as a historian and an educator, I didn't tell you a story. And the story was something I found last night. I was searching through the books about what is it that I'm going to do. Do I talk about my department, which is the best in the CUNY system? Do I talk about my students who are all going to be walking behind the car on down Fifth Avenue? No, I'm going to tell you the story about Helena Valentin. When the Puerto Rican Parade first began, Helena Valentin was the most important person in a cohort of Puerto Ricans to put that parade together. He organized the town clubs. He was a labor organizer. He was a community leader and organized the town clubs to come together and then said to them, we have to have a parade. Why do we have to have a parade? I mean, what does that do? Remember, this is a time in the early 50s when our community was discriminated against, was exploited, was maligned in the press, was no health care, bad schools. We have to have a parade because we have to unify the Puerto Rican community in New York, and we have to show that we have pride. Second, we have to unify the Puerto Ricans all over the United States. And third, we have to empower the future generations of Puerto Ricans by showing them pride and letting them know what their history is. Now, 61 years later, it is us, the diaspora, the diasporicans, who are solid, who have made it, who are the educated, who are the doctors, who are the nurses, who have the resources, and we've been called upon to help Puerto Rico. And that's why I am over the moon to be able to accept this recognition and to march with you on Sunday at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Thank you.
A people excel when they know where they came from and they honor and know their history. Thank you, Virginia, for that. Now I have the honor to introduce someone who I adore, who is marketing and brand maven, who has joined us from Puerto Rico and served on this board, and with whom we would not be able to accomplish a lot that we accomplished because she made the enlace between this parade and Puerto Rico and its presence in a way that did not exist before. And that is none other than our board member, Dora Diaz.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So honored. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm excited to be here with all of you. Thanks for coming today. And I will introduce to you some of the honorees that will be walking with us on Fifth Avenue. With us today, there's a group of talented graffiti artists that have turned into professional muralists. They started just painting and beautifying the walls of the city, and now they're painters. They've been doing this since 1980, and this year they're honored as ambassadors of the parade. They are Tat's crew, and with us is BG 183 and Nicer Nazario. You're here. Come stay safe.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I mean, when we were first asked to be part of the parade, for us growing up here in New York City, it's what we did. And like you said, we've been painting since 1980. And we've been pretty fortunate that we were so stubborn. Even when our parents told us not to do it, we still kept doing it. We realized in around 1984, we were being asked to do this overseas because people were interested in what was going on here in New York City. And I guess I was an 18-year-old running around London for like an entire month going, what the hell is El Hijo de Carmencita doing in London? So, but I mean, since then, you know, we've been pretty fortunate where we've done work for the Smithsonian. We've traveled everywhere from Israel to Africa to Morocco, all over Europe, and everywhere we've gone, we've always represented being a New Yorker, being from the Bronx, and being Puerto Rican. So, thank you.
You know, being born and raised here in New York City, my parents both came from Puerto Rico, and living in the South Bronx, you know, we had hard time. So the art form that we did back in the 80s was graffiti, and that what kept us away from, you know, drugs, stealing, and everything else that we was doing. And in this art form, we just love doing it. And now, for the last 22 years, we have a business called Task Crew. We located up in Hunts Point. We've been there painting all over the world. We paint our community, you know, with no donation. We just do everything on our own. Like whatever money that we get, we give it out. You know, we donate our time and painting murals, and that's what we do all day. And you know, being Latino, it helps. You know, like we hanged out in a grocery store in the 80s, and now we're traveling, like Nancy said, Morocco, Africa, China. You know, this year I just came back from Spain, and that was a good trip. So we, you know, as us as Boricuas, we also giving back. You know, we have like these teenagers that write graffiti all the time, and we show them the way. You know, you don't need to write on the walls. You know, do like we did. You know, start your own business. You know, start your own art, paint. You know, you have any type of questions, you know, just open up to us, and you know, it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like we locate again at the Point, 940 Garrison, and everybody's welcome. And I thank you again. You know, thank you for having us here. You know, it's an honor for us.
Now I have to go back and check the books. He's giving out money. So. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Okay, well, our next honoree is an ambassador. He's a native New Yorker whose grandparents are from Ponce and San Sebastian. So he's Puerto Rican. I mean, we claim him as Puerto Rican because his grandparents are from the island. And he rocked the stage of The Voice with a beautiful rendition of Preciosa. Here with us is Jimmy Bliss. Johnny.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I didn't really prepare anything to say, but all I know is that I'm very happy that, you know, it's Johnny Bliss. So just in case you look me up, you don't get confused. But I'm so happy that I was invited to this this conference. Everyone smells good. Everyone looks good. That's very important to me. I'm very happy to be here. When I went on the stage for The Voice, I grew up in Washington Heights because I'm half and half. I'm Dominican and I'm Puerto Rican. But I grew up in a Puerto Rican household, eating rice and beans, pastel en hoja, you know, but I also eat mondongo and also tostones. So it's like I had the best of both worlds, and it's an honor for my people to bring me up here and say, Johnny, you know, you did a great job, because you don't always get that pat on the back when you're working hard for your dreams. Sometimes you just gotta keep going and keep working. You never stop working. Like these ladies right here who got the scholarship. I'm so proud of you. I just met you, but that's awesome. And just being on the stage of The Voice and given the opportunity to be a representation of what a Puerto Rican really is here in New York it's not that we go off of an accent. It's not that we're this or we're that. It's not just the food. We're everything. We're American too, you know? And that's what they tend to forget. We know English. We know our rights. We know we belong here, as much as you don't want to make us like we don't belong, you know what I mean? So I went on that stage and I gave it all I had. I put my heart on the stage, and it was a huge response, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for having me. You guys have a great rest of the afternoon. Y Puerto Rico se levanta.
Okay, so we do have other honorees that are not here today, but we'd like to announce them. The Grand Marshal of this year's parade is Esai Morales. He's an award-winning actor and, among many other things, a co-founder of the National Hispanic Foundation for the Arts. Our queen is Zuleika Rivera, a TV personality and a former Miss Universe. The athlete of the year is Carlos Beltran, who needs no further introduction. Yeah. A Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Ismael Miranda, el niño bonito de la salsa. Bueno, no tan niño, pero no, bonito. Fania All-Star star. So, another ambassador is Sunny Huston, the Emmy Award-winning journalist and co-host of the ABC's The View. She will be joining us too. Another ambassador is Richard Colon, Crazy Lex. He's a hip-hop artist, dancer, and philanthropist. He's been doing amazing work for Puerto Rico. Like the week after the hurricane hit, he was already there giving us water and filters, and phenomenal. Another ambassador that will be joining us is Michael Stewart, who's an actor, salsa singer, and TV personality. He will also be joining us at the gala. It was a surprise, but anyway, surprise today. Okay, so. Yeah, surprise. Entonces, Jackie Garrido is a television personality and journalist and co-anchor of Univision's Primer Impacto, and she's also an ambassador this year. Julio Gabi Acevedo, reporter for NBC and Telemundo, who's been in the island for a long time, also reporting in every corner of the island. He will be an ambassador. Ricardo Villarini is an award-winning journalist from Telemundo 47. He's also an ambassador this year. And we look forward to having them all with us this year. Okay. Alan is here. Yeah, but Alan is here. Okay, so Alan Villafaña is also a reporter and journalist and he's around here. Yeah, come on, Alan. I have in my script for you.
I remember growing up in Puerto Rico and watching the Puerto Rican Day Parade, La Parada Puertorriqueña. I watched it con televisor en blanco y negro. I think some of you, I'm old, but not that old. And being a journalist here in the city, I'm so proud. I'm even prouder that last week a Puerto Rican woman by the name of Emily Serrano, she confronted a lawyer who is the racist man that didn't want to Puerto Ricans or Hispanic to talk. So I interviewed her and I said, what do you want for this man? Y ustedes saben lo que dijo. Yo quiero que él aprenda de nosotros. And that was very significant. He needs love, he needs compassion, and he needs to get to know us. So for Emily Serrano, una boricua del Bronx, que hizo lo que no se atrevieron a hacer muchas personas que hablan inglés allí, dijo, I'm not in welfare. I work since I was 14 years old. So for Emily and for us here in the media, we're journalists, historians, and we keep the history of us Puerto Ricans alive. Thank you so much to the National Puerto Rican Day Parade por la parada. Yo siempre voy a decir parada, aunque tengo que decirlo correctamente porque soy periodista del desfile puertorriqueño. So thank you so much, and también por Ricardo Villarini, que no está aquí con nosotros, está trabajando, pero estoy seguro que él le hubiera encantado estar aquí. Muchas gracias.
Felicidades, Alan. Y recuerda cuando se apaga es el televisor blanco y negro. En ese punto, en el central. Johnny, congratulations. Boricua y quisqueyano, ¿verdad? Entonces salsa y merengue, which is great. Yeah. Okay. You got it totally covered. Yes, exactly. You got rhythm. You got it. Y mira, yo me di cuenta when it was said whether the Boricuas from Red Sox Nation would give a proper shout out to Jorge Posada, okay, and you did, so that's good. And Carlos Beltran, so I'm happy to see that you're on board with that, just because you will not find too many Red Sox fans here at the Bronx Zoo, okay? Is it? Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. Pero bienvenidos, welcome anyway. Next to the podium, ¿a dónde está Nilda? Nilda Oyola, she's the parade board member, chair of the Education Committee, to share details related to the education leadership programs and the parade scholarship program. We can talk culture, we can talk heritage, but what the parade is doing with the students and with the kids and with the next generation, eso es lo más importante, in my view, okay? Please come.
Buenas tardes a todos que están aquí. Welcome to everybody that has joined us this day. Before I begin what I need to say, I'd like to take a minute to ask la doctora Aida Díaz, la presidenta de la Asociación de Maestros de Puerto Rico, or as we say here in New York, the Puerto Rican Teachers Association. Por favor, doctora Díaz.
Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes a todos. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I also saw the parade through the TV since I was a kid, but I didn't know, I have to confess something. I didn't know we had such a great organization behind that parade. So you have said here that you started the parade for teaching our people to be proud of being Puerto Rican, to be proud of their origins, and to make them, look to the future, a better future. And what you have made is something incredible. You have put the island of Puerto Rico in the map of the world. You have done that, and you have taught everyone here that we are also American citizens, and that we deserve respect, and that we contribute not only to the island, but to this country. So I'm very proud, and it's a privilege for me to be awarded with the Leadership in Education Award. What I do in the island is, I was not born to be a leader. I was a child little girl, and I started teaching as biology in the schools. But when I started seeing discrimination, and the way the teachers were treated, and the way we couldn't give the students the classes and education they should have given, I started fighting for the rights of the students and for the teachers. And I have been doing that for a long, long time. Still, I'm doing that. I'm fighting against the closure of 283 schools in one shot. I'm fighting. And while I'm here, my people in the island are protesting in front of Fortaleza for those closures. So I joined my organization for education. But I think unions are not to fight for rights only. Unions are to serve communities. And that's what I have done of our organization. We changed the mission of the association, and we are serving the communities. This is why when Maria came, we didn't know what Maria has done to us up to the third day. You knew better than us. We didn't have TV, radio, anything. So when we went out and we saw what I saw, I said, we have to go out and help the people. And with the help of the AFT and all the diaspora that help us without limits. They help us give food and everything. We have group of people who went there and they didn't know where were they going to sleep. And I said, well, the only thing I can offer you is the house. We have a building for the old teachers, and I think we have some beds available. I'm going to give those beds and you can stay there. So I received this award for those who are fighting there, who are striving to survive and to rebuild the island, for those who went from here without knowing where they were going to have food or to sleep, and for all the people that have helped us and continue telling the world there is a small island who is more than an island. It has heart and it has pride, and we are going to rebuild our island again, and our island is going to be the Seminary Cross. So thank you very much for this award. Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias, Doctora Rivera. As Louis mentioned earlier, tonight we are awarding 100 scholarships at the Educational Leadership Awards. The number of applicants this year exceeded last year by 33%, with applications coming in from students in 19 states and Puerto Rico. And we are excited and proud to continue supporting the educational endeavors around talented and promising students. Scholarship recipients will also have the opportunity to attend our cultural boot camp at the Centro for Puerto Rican Studies at Hunter College, a program designed to help increase the students' command of Puerto Rican culture and history, and to promote their personal and professional development. Before I bring one of these students up here, I'd like to acknowledge we do have 4 scholars here today. So when I call out your name, I'd like you please to stand up. We will start out with Adrian Pastor, who is from New York. Adriel Soto Moreau. Adriel Soto is a scholar that is displaced from Puerto Rico after Maria, who came to New York and still continues to excel with a 4.0, and he is one of our scholars today. We have 2 amazing young ladies from Massachusetts. Lenesha Marie Rosario Hernandez and Mariah Alexandra Cabrera. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a small representation of what we will see tonight. Also, as part of tonight's program, we will honor 4 outstanding individuals who have helped advance the pursuit of education in the Puerto Rican community. These distinguished individuals include, we've already met one of them, Doctora Aida Díaz, la presidenta de la Asociación de Maestros de Puerto Rico. Gracias, doctora. Iliana Cintrón Aguilú, She is the Chief of Family and Community Engagement from Holyoke Public Schools. Marvin Garcia, Chairperson for Community as a Campus, Humboldt Park, Chicago, Illinois. Please stand. Thank you, Marvin. Iris Delutro, Program Manager, Murphy Institute Leap to Teacher Program, City University of New York School of Labor and Urban Studies. Miriam Quiles, Teacher of the Year, New York City Public School Teacher, teaching ESOL at PS 160. We look forward to having many of you join us at tonight's Education Leadership Awards. See you tonight. Thank you.
Porque como yo soy chismosa y presenta. I just wanted to say that the idea of Puerto Rican Teacher of the Year and educators was an idea that came out of the Education Committee. And the reason for that is that many teachers get awards and recognition. And the one thing that we noticed over and over again, that few of them were Puerto Rican. So we said in this parade, we're going to honor our educators because we know that whoever teaches our children and keeps preserving our future are people that we have to honor because teachers are our primary educators. And then we also said, as there is a National Teacher of the Year that is selected through other organizations, we have our own Puerto Rican Teacher of the Year. So I want to thank you.
And as the son of a Spanish teacher, I can understand exactly what you're saying, for sure. Gracias. Thank you, Nilda. Thank you, Lorraine. Seguimos. Next up, Raquel Ortiz. She's another parade board member. She's the chair of the Arts and Culture Committee. She'll provide an update on parade participation, which is always good. Don't we know that?
Good afternoon. I was a teacher and now I'm a professor, so hey. So this year, we will pay special tribute to Puerto Rico's national instrument, el cuatro, recognizing its historical and cultural significance in shaping Puerto Rico's traditional music. And as part of this tribute, the parade is recognizing several accomplished cuatro players that are actively preserving this national treasure, and as such, are underscoring the importance of its role in traditional Puerto Rican music. In doing so, the parade honors two legendary cuatro players, Pedrito Guzman and Iluminado Davila, as Lifetime Achievement Honorees. The parade also recognizes several members of the new generation of virtuoso performers and teachers with a special recognition. These include Manny Trinidad, Maribel Delgado, Cristian Nieves, Fabiola Mendez, and Luis Sanz. Additionally, the parade will honor the accomplished singer of traditional Puerto Rican music, Victoria Sanabria, as Orgullo Puertorriqueño. Now, I'd like to take a few moments to thank our sponsors and media partners, without who the 2018 National Puerto Rican Day Parade would not be possible. Manhattan Beer, Google, the Coca-Cola Company, Acacia Network, SEIU 1099, JetBlue Airways, Uber, CUNY, City University of New York. Yay. Give it up, I work for them, come on. Bronx Lebanon Hospital, the United Federation of Teachers. We got a couple teachers in the house. ABC7, Univision Communications, NBC4, Telemundo, the Spanish Broadcasting System, iHeartMedia, El Diario La Prensa, and the New York Daily News. This year, we have received overwhelming response from the community and have over 100 contingents comprised of groups from the New York tri-state area, Puerto Rico, and communities from all across the country. We look forward to having them join us on La Quinta Avenida. For a third consecutive year, the National Puerto Rican Day Parade will be broadcast live via WABC TV Channel 7 and streamed live on the internet at www.abc7newyork.com. Also, remember that there are many other events leading up to the parade. One of those events is our gala fundraiser, which will take place on Friday, June 8th at the Sheraton New York Times Square. We have an exciting program planned, which will include exciting performances by several of our honorees, including Ismael Miranda and Michael Stewart, who's so cute. Gala tickets can be purchased on our website, nprdpinc.org. A full calendar of events is included in the press release you will receive, as well as on our website. Mil gracias. Thank you.
El 4, porque ya son las 4. Yeah, that works perfectly. I think it's critical to remind familia, amigos, por donde quiera, because putting it on the internet, si tiene familia en Rincón, Guaynabo, Ponce, por donde quiera, they can watch the parade live on their computer. Lord willing, they have power, okay? Gracias a Dios. That just about wraps it up. Thank you all so much for 2018, for joining us this morning. We will see you on 5th Avenue, of course, Sunday, June 10th, as well as the events leading up to the parade, the gala. If you haven't been to the gala, you have to get to the gala. The Mass, of course, as well, which is tremendous, and the way we should probably start every day. So there are many events. Stay tuned. Go to the website for the parade so that you can see the list of events as they come up. You don't want to miss any of them. The gala, if you haven't got tickets, please get your tickets. That is such a great time. Always some good performances. Muchísimas gracias. Before we go, all the honorees, if you would kindly please come forward. We're going to get a big picture. Muchísimas gracias. Nos vemos. Thank you.